I am the most complete fighter in the world. So, if this is your first time to this channel and you love movies and martial arts, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Welcome to Fight Scene Friday, the show where we analyse the best fight scenes from some of your favourite movies. And on today's show, we're going to look at the fight scene between Boyka and Lateef Crowder from Undisputed 3. Great fight scene, full of acrobatics and tricking and beautiful mixed martial arts action. Absolutely love what the Undisputed series brought to martial arts action in movies. This series was obviously started by Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames boxing movie, and then it evolved from that to MMA, to mixed martial arts, with Scott Adkins, who I think is completely underrated. Fantastic martial arts action star, British martial arts action star at that. Then you got Michael Jai White, another fantastic martial artist who came into the franchise, and Boyka, he became like a cult classic kind of character in these movies. And now these movies have been based around Boyka, which I absolutely love, because his character's kind of become an anti-hero, because he started off as kind of a villainous character, but now he's become an anti-hero character. Within this fight scene, it was just so good to see these two titans of the martial arts stunt world kind of come together in Lateef Crowder and Scott Adkins. Both very acrobatic, both very skilled martial artists, and both very aesthetically pleasing to watch on film. Now, obviously this is an MMA fight, and MMA fights don't necessarily look this like extravagant. They've obviously upped the kind of fighting style for film by adding their gymnastic skills, their tricking skills. Lateef Crowder obviously bringing his Capoeira game to the film world and showing practical applications of Capoeira that people aren't necessarily aware of. That's what I think he brings to the table in the movie fighting industry and within this fight scene particularly, because it gives Scott Adkins a different kind of opponent to match up with. Instead of an opponent who's exactly like him, who fights very acrobatically with a kickboxing style, you know, you've got someone who's fighting in the Capoeira style, which is very acrobatic in and of itself, especially the Heji Now style of Capoeira, which Lateef brings to the table. And he shows some great moves, some great takedowns as well, and just the sequence, the speed of the sequences in this fight is so good. Like the way it opens up and they fist bump each other, Lateef goes straight into, you know, some kicks and some flips, and the sequence is just so good, man. It's just so aesthetically pleasing to watch. Obviously Boyka, he's trying to prove he's the greatest fighter in the world, and he's in this tournament. He's coming back from a knee injury that he suffered from the second movie with Michael Jai White, and he's fighting now the best fighters around the world in the prisons. And obviously Lateef is representing Brazil and Boyka's representing Russia. So it's like a World Cup tournament of MMA, of mixed martial arts, which I thought was a great dynamic. So you get to see all these different fighting styles. You get to see, I believe there's a Taekwondo guy in there, a Japanese guy doing karate. You got different styles and systems fighting each other in the ring. So it adds to quite a dynamic setting of fights. But this fight particularly, I've really enjoyed, because Lateef, again, just the fact that he brings that Capoeira element to a fight scene, it really ups the game of Scott Adkins, who is a fantastic athlete and is a fantastic martial arts performer on film, and it just adds to his acrobatic style. So I really enjoyed those two elements. I mean, what did you think? What did you think of this fight scene? Do you think that this fight scene was the best fight scene in the movie? Because for me, I thought it was. The fight scene that he has at the end with the main protagonist is pretty good, but I still feel like this fight scene, it really just head over heels for me. It was the best fight. I've done Capoeira before and I really enjoyed Capoeira. I enjoyed the martial art element of Capoeira, the deceptive movements, what people don't see, what they think is dance and just a nice acrobatic movements, actually has a lot of practical applications in combat. And I love that Lateef Crowder brings that to the movie fighting industry, and he shows those kind of applications within fight scenes. For me, it was the best fight scene of the movie and I absolutely enjoyed it. It really upped Boyka's game. But I like how it ends on the ground, you know, it ends with a bit of jiu-jitsu. I believe it gets him over the triangle choke in the end, and he has to tap out. Lateef has to tap out to a triangle choke. So again, that's showing the mixed martial arts elements of it. So it's not just a bunch of nice flips and kicks. You're bringing it to the ground. You're showing Boyka's skill on the ground as well. So he's able to submit Lateef with that that triangle choke at the end. That showed a nice blend of what the fighting is. It's an MMA fight. It's not a kickboxing fight or what you typically see in movie fights where it's just extravagant moves and kicks and flips and all of that. It has all of those elements in it, but it reminds you that it's a mixed martial arts fight by ending on the ground with a submission with that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I thought was fantastic. So comment down below, let me know what you thought were the best elements of this fight scene and what you love about this fight, and also what were your favourite fights from the Undisputed series, because we've obviously got Undisputed 1, 2, 3 and 4. We've now got Undisputed Boyka, and I'm sure they're going to do more in this series. So just comment down below, let me know what you loved about this fight scene, and if this was your favourite fight, and if not, what was your favourite fight? I'd love to know. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button, share, subscribe. And like I said, comment down below, let me know what your favourite fight scene is in this series, and if you love this fight scene, was it your favourite? Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Love to know your comments down below, fight fans. Anyway, I'll see you next week for another Fight Scene Friday, and remember, behind every fight is a great story.